We all know Vincent Van Gogh for his Starry Night or for cutting his own ear, perhaps. But we miss out on the important events in his life that turned him into the genius that he was. Vincent William Van Gogh was born on March 30th, 1853, in Groot Zundert, a southern village in Netherlands, to Theodorus Van Gogh, a Protestant minister, and Anna Cornelia. He attended a local village school for over a year, and at the age of 11 was sent to a boarding school away from home because he was a serious and quiet child who did showed early signs of artistic talent. This period was really challenging for young Vincent as he felt isolated and homesick. In middle school, he showed keen interests in drawing and sketching animals and plants until 1868. When he turned 15, he left school prematurely, bringing an end to his formal education. As he turned 16, Vincent began to work in an art dealership, which was the beginning of his exposure to the art world. But little did he know what the future had in store for him. At the age of 20, he got transferred to the London branch and later to Paris. While in London, he fell in love with his landlord's daughter, Eugenie Lawyer, but was rejected. This rejection led to a period of depression in his life. Vincent's journey led him to various jobs, including teaching positions in England. He also attempted to follow his father's footsteps by becoming a preacher. However, his fervent dedication often clashed with the church's expectations and was dropped. At the age of 27, he finally decided to study art in Brussels, funded by his brother Theo, who had the biggest part in Vincent's life. Vincent's early works were focused on rural life and struggles of the working class. His first major work, The Potato Eaters, completed in 1885, showed his sympathy towards the peasants. A year later, he moved to Paris to live with his brother Theo, where he was exposed to the works of the Impressionists and Post-Impressionists, which had a profound impact on his own style. While living in Paris, his palette brightened and he began using vivid and bright colors in his paintings. One notable work from this period in his life is Self-Portrait with Grey Felt Hat. In February 1888, seeking the light of South, Vincent moved to Arles. He rented the Yellow House, where he hoped to create an artist community. This is where he produced some of his most famous paintings, included Sunflowers, The Night Cafe, and Bedroom in All. This was a time in Vincent's life where his mental health began to worsen. His friendships with Paul Gauguin, who joined him in October 1888, was not really great. After a heated argument, Vincent suffered from a mental breakdown and famously cut off a part of his own ear. This event had him hospitalized in Arles in December the same year. 5 months later, in May 1889, Vincent voluntarily admitted himself to Saint Paul de Massol Asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, where despite his confinement he produced the most iconic and well-known Starry Night. In May 1890, Vincent left the asylum and moved to Auvers-sur-Oise to be closer to Dr. Paul Gachet, a homeopathic physician. During this time, He painted intensely and ended up producing over 70 paintings in the last months of his life, including Portrait of Dr. Gachet and Wheat Field with Crows, which was also his last painting. Despite the prolific output, Vincent's mental health continued to decline. On July 27, 1890, Vincent allegedly shot himself in the chest. He did manage to return to the inn where he was staying, but 2 days later, on July 29th, with Theo by his side, he died at the age of 37. Vincent Van Gogh was a tormented genius. During his lifetime, he only sold one painting. After his death, Theo Van Gogh, his brother, sought to preserve Vincent's work, but he died 6 months after Vincent. So Theo's widow, Johanna Van Gogh Bonke, inherited Vincent's paintings. She organized exhibitions and actively sold his paintings, understanding their value and potential. Her effort and dedication to make Vincent's work known to the world was successful, and now Vincent van Gogh stands as one of the most remarkable painters in history. His art speaks to the universal human experience, capturing both beauty and pain.